I heard my husband say it before I even walked through the front door. The old woman's finally gone. Everything's hers now, and soon it'll be ours. I froze. My hand was still on the brass handle. The house smelled like lilies from the funeral, sweet, suffocating. And the voice on the other end of his call? My sister. I didn't move, didn't breathe. I just listened. Ryan's voice dropped lower, almost excited. 2 weeks. Once she signs, we're gone. A pause. Then a laugh. Soft. Cold. Not the man who held my hand at my mother's funeral just hours earlier. Not the man who kissed my forehead and told me I was strong. I stepped back slowly. My heels barely touched the marble floor. I didn't want him to hear me. I walked around the side of the house instead, through the garden, past the stone fountain my mother loved, and that's when I saw them, Ryan and Lily, too close, not grieving, not broken, just waiting. Lily had her hand on his arm, like she belonged there. He leaned in, whispered something. She smiled, not the nervous, twitchy smile I knew from her bad days. This one was calm, comfortable, like this had been going on for a while. I stood behind the hedges. My chest felt tight, not from crying, from clarity, because suddenly everything made sense. The late nights, the way he handled all the finances, the way Lily always showed up at the wrong time, always needing something, always looking at him just a little too long. I bit the inside of my cheek until I tasted blood. Don't walk out. Don't confront them. Not yet. Because the moment I do, they'll lie. They'll twist it. They'll make me sound crazy. No, I needed proof. I needed the truth. All of it. I walked back inside like nothing happened. Ryan was in the kitchen when I came in, pouring himself a drink. Scotch, 2 fingers, no ice, same as always. He turned, smiled. There you are. Thought you went upstairs. I needed some air, I said. My voice didn't shake. That surprised me. He walked over, kissed my cheek. I love you, he said. I smiled back. I love you too. And for the first time since I met him, I knew I was lying. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay there staring at the ceiling while he breathed next to me, slow, even, peaceful. Like he hadn't just planned to steal my entire life. Around 3 a.m, I slipped out of bed, took my phone, went into the bathroom, locked the door, and listened back to what I recorded, because yes, I recorded him. I didn't even remember pressing the button, but I did. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. His voice, clear, confident, talking about my money, my inheritance, my future, like it was already his. I sat on the cold tile floor, wrapped my arms around myself, and whispered one question out loud. How long? Because that was the part that scared me. Not the betrayal, not even the money. It was how easy it felt for them. Like this wasn't new, like I was the last one to find out. I opened my laptop, started searching. Trust lawyers, asset protection, private investigators. Every tab felt like stepping into a new version of myself, one that didn't trust, one that watched, one that prepared. Downstairs, I heard the floor creak. Ryan. Moving around the house, maybe getting water, maybe checking if I was still asleep. I held my breath, didn't move, didn't make a sound. And in that moment, sitting on that bathroom floor with my phone in my hand, I realized something I wish I had understood sooner. I wasn't grieving anymore. I was waking up. And whatever game they thought they were playing, they had no idea I had just stepped onto the board. But there was one thing I still didn't know. One thing that would change everything. Why my mother changed her will right before she died. 3 days later, I sat across from my mother's attorney, trying to keep my hand still on my lap. The office smelled like old paper and lemon polish. Sunlight cut through the blinds in thin lines. Dust floated in the air like it had nowhere else to go. Mr. Whitmore adjusted his glasses and looked at me carefully. "You don't have to rush this, Emily," he said. His voice was calm, measured. "I'm fine," I replied. I wasn't fine. Ryan sat beside me. His hand rested on my knee. Too heavy, too familiar. Lily slouched in the chair on my other side. She kept tapping her foot, fast, restless. Her eyes looked hollow. Withdrawal. I knew the signs. Mr. Whitmore opened the folder. Your mother updated her will 2 months before she passed. My chest tightened. 2 months. She knew she was dying, and she changed everything. He began reading. Every word landed like a stone. $47 million. In a protected trust. The vineyard, the house, the commercial building in San Francisco. All of it, left to me. I didn't look at Ryan, but I felt it. His fingers tightened slightly against my leg. Just a little. Enough. Then came Lily's part. $500,000, restricted. She wouldn't see a cent unless she stayed sober for 12 straight months. Silence filled the room. Then Lily laughed, sharp, bitter. "That's it?" she snapped. "That's all I get." Mr. Whitmore didn't react. "She documented your history, Lily. She made this decision based on that." Lily stood up so fast her chair scraped across the floor. "She gave up on me," she said. Her voice cracked. But her eyes? They weren't hurt. They were angry. At me. She pointed. "She gets everything, as usual." I opened my mouth, closed it, because nothing I said would matter. Ryan stood then, smooth, calm, the perfect mediator. Hey, let's not do this here," he said, placing a hand on her shoulder. She shrugged him off. "Don't touch me." But she didn't leave right away. She looked at him. Just for a second. A glance most people wouldn't catch. But I did, and something inside me went cold. She grabbed her purse and stormed out. The door slammed. Ryan sighed, ran a hand through his hair. "I should go check on her," he said, already moving. "Give her space," I replied. He paused, then smiled. That same practiced smile, "I'll be right back." And then he was gone. The room felt different without him. Quieter, heavier. Mr. Whitmore took off his glasses. "Your mother was worried," he said. I looked up. "About what?" He hesitated. "About people around you." My heart skipped. Did she say who? "No," he said, "but she left something for you." I leaned forward. "What is it?" He glanced toward the door. "Come back tomorrow. Alone." Something about the way he said it made my stomach drop. Before I could ask more, the door opened. Ryan stepped back in. "She's in the car," he said, still upset. He looked between us. "Everything okay?" "Fine," I said quickly, too quickly. Mr. Whitmore gave me a look. Not pity, not concern, something else, like he knew I wasn't safe. The drive home was quiet. Ryan kept glancing at me, waiting, watching, like he was trying to read my face. I stared out the window. Vineyards rolled past in long green lines. My mother built all of this from nothing. Every vine, every stone, every dollar. And now I was sitting next to a man who thought it was already his. When we got home, he touched my arm. "You holding up okay?" I nodded. "I think I just need some time alone tomorrow," I said. "Of course," he replied, too quickly, too easy. He kissed my forehead. "I've got some meetings anyway." I smiled. Good. That night, I lay in bed again. But this time, I wasn't just thinking. I was planning. Because tomorrow, I was going back to that office, and whatever my mother left for me, I had a feeling it wasn't just money. It was a warning, and I was finally ready to hear it. I waited until Ryan's car disappeared down the road before I moved. I stood by the window a little longer than needed, just to be sure. The house felt too quiet, too clean, like nothing bad could ever happen here. But I knew better now. I grabbed my keys, my phone, my mother's old scarf from the hallway hook. It still smelled like her perfume, soft, warm, familiar. I wrapped it around my neck without thinking. Then I left. The drive into town felt longer than usual. Every red light made my chest tighten. Every passing car felt like it was watching me. I kept replaying yesterday in my head, that look between Ryan and Lily, that pause, that silence that said too much. I pulled into the parking lot of Mr. Whitmore's office. Empty. Good. I walked in. He was already waiting. No assistant today, no background noise, just him and a locked door behind me. "You came alone," he said. "Yes." He studied my face for a second, then nodded. Good. That word landed heavy. He reached into his desk drawer, pulled out a small envelope, cream-colored. My name written in my mother's handwriting, my throat closed. I didn't take it right away. "She wrote this the night she signed the final documents," he said quietly. "Why didn't you give it to me yesterday?" "Because your husband was in the room." The word husband sounded wrong now, sharp, like something cracked. I finally reached for the envelope. My fingers shook, just a little. I opened it slowly. Inside was a single folded letter, and something else, a small black flash drive. My stomach dropped. I unfolded the letter. Her handwriting was steady. No fear, no hesitation. "Emily, if you are reading this, it means I was right to be careful." I felt the air leave my lungs. I kept reading. I didn't have proof at first, just instincts, but I trusted them. And I need you to trust yours too. Ryan is not who you think he is. My hands went cold. I sat down without realizing it. He started asking questions about the business, about accounts he should not have known existed, and Lily, she suddenly came back into your life at the same time. I swallowed hard. No, 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 no. I watched them. Quietly. I didn't confront them. I waited. Smart. That was her. Always thinking ahead. The flash drive contains recordings, calls, meetings, things I wish I never heard. The room felt smaller, tighter. If you're reading this, I didn't have time to act, or I chose not to. That line hit me differently. Chose not to, because she was sick, because she knew her time was short, and she left it to me. Do not confront them immediately. People like this don't panic. They adapt. You need to be smarter. My grip tightened on the paper. Protect yourself first, then decide what kind of ending you want. I stopped reading. My vision blurred, not from tears, from something sharper, clarity. I looked up at Mr. Whitmore. "You knew," I said. "I suspected," he replied. "Your mother confirmed it. Why didn't she tell me?" He didn't answer right away. "Because you loved him," he said finally, "and she needed evidence, not a broken family without proof." That made sense. Too much sense. I looked down at the flash drive in my hand. Small, silent, but heavy, like it carried everything. "Can I use this legally?" I asked. "Yes," he said. Everything on it was obtained within legal limits. She was very careful. Of course she was. I stood up, slow, controlled. "What do I do now?" He met my eyes. "That depends on who you want to be when this is over." I nodded. Then I left. The drive home felt different, not heavy, focused. When I pulled into the driveway, Ryan's car was already there. So was Lily's, of course. I turned off the engine, sat there for a moment, listening to my own breathing, slow, even. Then I slipped the flash drive into my pocket, stepped out of the car, and walked toward the house. This time, I wasn't walking in blind. I was walking in knowing exactly who I was dealing with, and they had no idea. Ryan was laughing when I opened the door. That sound hit me first, too relaxed, too normal. Lily's voice followed, softer, almost sweet. I stepped inside. They both turned. Ryan smiled like nothing had changed. "Hey," he said, "you're back early?" Lily gave me that careful smile, the one people use when they don't know where they stand, or when they know exactly what they're doing. "I needed some air," I said. My voice came out steady, better than I expected. Ryan studied me for half a second, then shrugged it off. "You okay?" "I will be." I walked past them, slow, controlled, every step measured. I could feel Lily's eyes on my back, sharp, watching. I went straight to the kitchen, set my keys down, poured myself a glass of water. My hand didn't shake. That surprised me. Behind me, I heard footsteps. Ryan. Of course. He always followed when something felt off. "You sure you're all right?" he asked. "Closer now? Too close." I turned, looked at him. Really looked this time. The lines around his eyes, the way his jaw tightened just slightly, the calculation behind that concern. "I just need a little time," I said. He nodded, reached for my hand. I let him, for a second. Then I pulled back. Not abruptly, just enough. A small shift, but I saw it. That flicker in his eyes. He noticed. "Good." "I was thinking," he said, trying to recover. "We should start organizing your mom's accounts soon. There's a lot to go through." There it was, too soon, too eager. My stomach turned, but I smiled. Soft, tired. "Yeah," I said. "I've been thinking about that, too." Lily walked in behind him, quiet, but not invisible. "I can help," she said. "You don't have to do this alone." I looked at her, held her gaze. She didn't look away, bold or desperate. Maybe both. "That's kind of you," I said. My tone stayed gentle, but something underneath it shifted. She felt it. I saw it in the way her fingers curled slightly at her side. Ryan jumped in quickly. "We're a team, Em," he said. "We'll handle everything together. We." That word used to feel safe. Now it felt like a trap. I nodded. Of course. Silence settled for a moment. Thick, uncomfortable. Ryan cleared his throat. "I've got a call in a bit," he said. "Lily was just stopping by. In my house, while I was gone." I almost laughed. Almost. Instead, I picked up my glass, took a sip, watched them both over the rim. "I'm glad she did," I said. Ryan blinked. "Didn't expect that. Yeah?" "Yeah," I said. "Family should stay close." Lily shifted her weight. Subtle. But I caught it. That word landed. Family. A reminder, or a warning. Even I wasn't sure yet. Ryan checked his watch. "I should take that call," he said. He leaned in, kissed my cheek. Same as always. Warm, familiar, fake. "I'll be in the office," he added. Then he left, just like that. The room felt different without him. Quieter, but heavier. Now it was just me and Lily, face to face. No buffer, no distraction. She crossed her arms lightly. Not defensive, just bracing. "You look tired," she said. "I am. A beat. You've been through a lot." I nodded. "I have." We stood there studying each other. Years of history between us. Childhood, fights, secrets. Now this. "Emily," she said softly, "if there's something you want to ask me." There it was. An opening. Or a test. I stepped closer. Slow. Close enough to see the tiny twitch near her eye. "You'd tell me the truth?" I asked. She didn't answer right away. That told me everything. But then she smiled. Small. Careful. Of course. I held her gaze. Longer than necessary. Then I smiled back. "Good," I said quietly, "because I'm about to start asking the right questions." Her breath hitched, just for a second, but I heard it, and that was enough, for now. I didn't wait for her to speak again. I turned, walked out of the kitchen like I had all the time in the world, but inside, everything was moving fast, too fast. I went upstairs, closed the bedroom door behind me, locked it. That sound, click. It felt like control. Finally. I pulled the flash drive out of my pocket, stared at it for a second, then crossed the room, opened my laptop. My hands hovered over the keyboard, just for a moment, because I knew, once I pressed play, there was no going back. I plugged it in. A folder popped up. Simple, clean, too clean. Like someone organized it carefully. There were files, dates, labels, short, precise. My mother's style. I clicked the first one, audio. A few seconds of silence, then Ryan's voice. Clear, relaxed, too relaxed. She doesn't know anything yet. My heart stopped. I didn't breathe. Lily's voice came next, lower, tighter. You said that last time. A pause. I leaned closer to the screen. She's grieving, Ryan said. Now is not the time to push too hard. Push, too hard. My fingers curled into my palm. What about the accounts? Lily asked. Almost there, he replied. Once she signs, everything moves fast. Signs. Everything. I felt cold. Not shocked. Not anymore. Just cold. You promised, Lily said. I always deliver, Ryan answered. That tone, confident, arrogant, like he already owned everything. The recording ended just like that. No warning. I sat there, staring at the screen. My reflection stared back, but she looked different, harder, quieter. I clicked the next file. Video this time, grainy, taken from a distance, a cafe. Ryan sitting at a table, Lily across from him, too close, too comfortable, his hand on hers. Not accidental, not subtle, intentional. She didn't pull away. She leaned in. I watched the way they looked at each other, not like family, not like people who made a mistake, like partners, like a plan already in motion. I paused the video. My chest rose slowly, then fell. I closed my eyes, just for a second, because something inside me shifted. This wasn't betrayal anymore. This was strategy, calculated, layered, patient. They didn't just want my trust. They wanted control of everything. I opened my eyes again. No tears, none. That surprised me. I thought there would be tears. There weren't. Just clarity. I unplugged the drive, slid it back into my pocket. Then I stood up, walked to the mirror, looked at myself, really looked. You're not weak, I said quietly. The woman in the mirror didn't look weak. She looked awake. There was a knock on the door. Soft. Careful. Lily, of course. Emily, she called. Are you okay? Her voice sounded concerned, almost convincing. I walked to the door, unlocked it, opened it just enough. She stood there, arms loosely folded, eyes searching my face. I didn't mean to upset you earlier, she said. I studied her. Every detail, the way she held herself, the way she waited, measuring me, same as I was measuring her. You didn't, I said. She blinked. Didn't expect that. I just needed space, I added. She nodded slowly. Of course. A beat. Ryan's asking if you want dinner. I smiled, small, controlled. Tell him yes. Her eyes flickered, just a little. Okay. She turned to leave, then hesitated, looked back. If there's anything you want to talk about, I tilted my head slightly, met her gaze. I know, I said. She left. I closed the door again, leaned back against it. And for the first time, I didn't feel like the victim. I felt like the only one in the room who knew the truth, and that changed everything. Dinner smelled like rosemary and butter, comfort food, the kind my mother used to make on Sundays. Ryan set the plates down like nothing had changed, like this was just another night. Lily poured wine, careful, precise. She always did things like that, controlled. I sat down, folded my napkin, placed it on my lap. My hands were steady. That mattered. Ryan watched me, not obvious, but I felt it, waiting, measuring. "Steak okay?" he asked. "Perfect," I said. My voice didn't betray anything. He smiled, relieved. Lily took her seat across from me, her fingers wrapped around the glass. But she didn't drink yet. Smart. We started eating, knives against plates, soft clinks. The sound filled the silence. Ryan cleared his throat. "I was thinking," he said, "maybe we should meet with an advisor this week." There it was again, the push, gentle but constant. "For the estate?" I asked. "Yeah." He leaned back slightly, relaxed posture, but his eyes stayed sharp. "It's a lot to manage alone." I nodded slowly, chewed, swallowed. "I agree," I said. Both of them looked up, at the same time, too quick, too synchronized. "I just don't want to rush anything," I added. Ryan's jaw tightened, barely noticeable. But I saw it. "Of course," he said. "Too smooth. We'll go at your pace." Lily finally took a sip of her wine. Her shoulders relaxed a little. They thought they still had control. That was the mistake. I set my fork down, looked at Ryan. "Can I ask you something?" He smiled. "Anything." I held his gaze. "Did you ever think about what happens if I say no?" Silence. It dropped heavy. Lily froze, wine glass halfway to her lips. Ryan blinked, just once. Then he leaned forward. "Eliza," he said softly, "why would you say no?" I shrugged. Simple. Honest. Because it's mine. There it was. The truth. Plain. Clear. No emotion. Just fact. Ryan's eyes darkened. Just for a second. Then the smile came back. "We're married," he said. "That means something." "It does," I agreed. I let that sit. Then I picked up my fork again, took another bite. Like the conversation meant nothing, but inside I was counting. Every reaction, every shift, every crack. Lily set her glass down, too hard, a small sound, sharp. "I think we're all just trying to help," she said. Her voice had changed, less soft, more defensive. I looked at her, calm. "I didn't say you weren't." She held my gaze, longer this time. There was something there now, not just calculation, fear. Good. Ryan pushed his plate away. "I've got an early morning," he said. "Translation." He needed space, to think, to adjust. He stood, leaned down, kissed my head. Same routine, same lie. "I love you," he said. I smiled, soft, measured. "I know. Not I love you too." He paused, just a fraction, then walked away. I heard his footsteps fade down the hall. A door closed. Now it was just me and Lily again. The air felt different, tighter. She leaned forward slightly, lowered her voice. "What are you doing?" she asked. There it was, no pretending now. I tilted my head. "What do you mean?" Her eyes narrowed. "You're acting different." I held her gaze, didn't blink. "People change," I said. She shook her head. "No? Not like this." I leaned back in my chair, slow, controlled. "Then maybe you never knew me." That landed, hard. She sat there, silent, searching my face, trying to figure out how much I knew. I let her wonder, because that was my advantage, and I wasn't giving it up. I woke up before sunrise. No alarm, no noise, just instinct. The house was quiet, too quiet. I lay there for a moment, staring at the ceiling, listening. Ryan's side of the bed was empty, cold. That told me everything. I sat up slowly, wrapped my robe around me, walked to the window. His car was gone. Early. He never left early. Not without saying something, unless he didn't want to explain. I exhaled slowly. Then I moved, down the hallway past his office. The door was closed, locked. I tried the handle anyway. Nothing, of course. I stood there for a second, thinking. Then I kept walking. Kitchen, coffee, routine. I needed that. The machine hummed softly, normal sound, grounding. I poured a cup, held it between my hands, warm, real, something I could control. Footsteps behind me. Lily. She looked tired, eyes slightly swollen. Did she sleep at all? Or was she thinking too? Morning, she said. Careful again, always careful. Morning. I took a sip, watched her over the rim. She hesitated, then walked closer. I didn't hear Ryan leave, she said. Lie or test. Neither did I replied. She nodded, but her shoulders stayed tense. He had an early meeting, she added. I raised an eyebrow slightly. Oh? She caught it, too late. He mentioned it last night, she said quickly. I smiled, soft, neutral. He didn't mention it to me. Silence, heavy. She looked away first. That mattered. I set my cup down, slow. I have something to do today, I said. Her head snapped back up. What kind of something? Too fast, too interested. I let that sit for a second, then shrugged. Just paperwork. That word again. Paperwork. I saw the shift. Her breathing changed, subtle, but real. Do you want help? She asked. Of course she did. No, I said gently. I think I need to do this alone. She studied my face, trying to read me, trying to find the edge. But I didn't give her one. Not today. Okay, she said. But her voice wasn't steady. Good. I grabbed my keys, my bag, the flash drive still inside, and I left. This time, I didn't go straight to Mr. Whitmore. I drove past his office, kept going. 2 blocks down, private investigator, small office, discreet, no big sign. Just a name on the door, Thomas Keller. My mother had written it in the margin of one of her notes. I remembered. Now I knew why. I walked in. He looked up, mid-50s, sharp eyes, didn't smile. I need help, I said. He leaned back slightly, studied me. What kind of help? I pulled the flash drive out, placed it on his desk. Evidence, I said. His expression didn't change, but his attention sharpened. Of what? I met his eyes, my husband, a beat, and my sister. That got him. Just a flicker. But I saw it. Sit, he said. I did. He plugged the drive in, started scanning the files. Didn't rush, didn't react. Professional. Minutes passed, long ones. Finally, he leaned back, folded his hands. You're in deeper than you think, he said. I nodded, I figured. He looked at me again, longer this time. You want proof, he said. Not a question, a statement. Yes. How far are you willing to go? I didn't answer right away. I thought about my mother, her letter, her warning. Then I spoke. As far as I need to, he nodded once. Slow. Then we do this right, he said. No mistakes. I leaned forward slightly. What does that look like? His eyes didn't leave mine. It looks like patience, he said. Because people like them. He tapped the desk lightly. They don't just take. A pause. They plan. I felt something settle inside me, cold, clear. So do I said. And for the first time, I meant it. I didn't go home right away. I sat in my car for a while, engine off, hands on the wheel, breathing slow. Because what Thomas said stayed with me. They plan. So do I. I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror. Same face, same woman. But something had shifted. I wasn't reacting anymore. I was choosing. That difference matters. I started the car, drove home, normal speed, no rush, no panic. When I pulled into the driveway, Ryan's car was back. Lily's too. Of course. I stepped out, smoothed my jacket, walked in. They were in the living room, close, too close again. They pulled apart when they saw me, not fast enough, but faster than yesterday. Progress. Hey, Ryan said, that same voice, that same ease. How was your day? I set my bag down, calm, productive. He smiled. Good. He watched me, waiting for details. I didn't give him any. Lily stood up. I was just leaving, she said. She grabbed her purse, too quickly. She wanted distance now. Smart. Drive safe, I said. She paused, looked at me, like she wanted to say something, then didn't. She left. The door closed. Ryan exhaled. Subtle, but I heard it. He turned back to me. So, he said, what kind of paperwork? There it was. I walked past him. Slow, controlled. Legal stuff, I said, vague on purpose. He followed. Of course. You talked to someone? His tone changed, just a little. Careful now, measured. I stopped, turned, looked at him. Yes, a beat. Who? Direct, no hesitation. I smiled, small. Someone my mom trusted. That hit him. I saw it, quick, sharp, then gone. What did they say? He asked. I stepped closer, close enough to see the tension in his jaw. They said I should take my time. Silence, heavy, uncomfortable. That's reasonable, he said. But his voice didn't match his face. I nodded. Yeah, I thought so too. I moved around him, back to the kitchen, opened the fridge. Normal motion, normal sound. But I could feel him behind me, thinking, adjusting, recalculating. What about us? He asked. Soft now, trying a different angle. I closed the fridge, turned. What about us? He stepped closer, lowered his voice. We're a team, he said. You don't have to handle this alone. There it was again. Team. I tilted my head, studied him. You really believe that? I asked. He didn't hesitate. Yes. Too fast, too sure. I held his gaze. Long. Let the silence stretch. Then I nodded. Good. I stepped past him, back toward the hallway. Because I'm going to need you to prove it. That stopped him. I heard it in the way his breathing changed. What does that mean? He asked. I didn't turn around. It means, I said calmly, no more pushing, a beat, no more rushing, another step, and no more secrets. That one landed hard. I reached the stairs, paused, then looked back. He was standing there, still, watching me, trying to read me, trying to figure out how much I knew. I gave him nothing, just a soft smile. Then I went upstairs, closed the door behind me, and for the first time I felt like I was ahead of him, not by much, but enough. And in a game like this, enough is everything. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed, eyes open, listening. Every sound felt louder, the floor creaking, a door closing, footsteps in the hallway. Ryan moved around downstairs longer than usual, not relaxed, not casual. Restless, good. That meant I got under his skin. Around midnight, I heard his office door close, then silence, heavy, final. I turned onto my side, stared at the wall, and made a decision. The next morning, I didn't wait for him. I got up early, dressed, simple, clean, neutral colors, nothing emotional. I went downstairs. Ryan was already in the kitchen, coffee in hand, tie loose, eyes tired. He looked up, surprised. You're up early, he said. I have somewhere to be. His grip tightened around the mug. Where? I poured myself coffee, took my time, let the silence stretch. Meeting, I said. With who? Direct again, always pushing. I looked at him, calm. Someone who helps me protect what's mine. That word again, mine. It hit him. He tried to hide it. Didn't quite succeed. Emily, he started. Eliza. I corrected softly. That stopped him. A small thing, but it mattered. My name is Eliza. He blinked, confused, thrown off. Good. Okay, he said slowly. Eliza. I nodded, took a sip, then set the cup down. I'll be back later. I grabbed my bag, keys, and left. This time, I drove straight to Thomas. He was already expecting me. Didn't waste time. I pulled records, he said. He slid a folder across the desk. Thin, but heavy. I opened it. Bank transfers. Small amounts. Spread out, consistent. Over time. My chest tightened. How much? I asked. Enough, he said. Not enough to trigger alarms, but enough to matter. Smart. Slow theft. Quiet. Careful. I flipped another page. A name. Not Ryan, not Lily. Another account. Offshore. I looked up. What is this? He leaned forward. That's where it's going. My stomach dropped. They're moving money already? He nodded. Testing the system. Seeing what you notice. I exhaled slowly. They think I'm not paying attention. He didn't smile. But you are. I closed the folder. Pressed my hand against it. Grounding. What's the next move? I asked. He held my gaze. We gather more. Or you confront them, he said. But that ends the game fast. I shook my head. No, too fast, too clean, too easy. They don't get an easy ending. He studied me. Long. You're not just trying to protect yourself, he said. No. I leaned forward. I'm making sure they never do this to anyone else. That was the truth. Not just anger, not just revenge. Accountability. That mattered. He nodded once. Then we build a case. I stood, took the folder. Good. As I reached the door, he spoke again. Be careful, he said. I paused, looked back. I am. And I meant it. When I got home, the house was quiet. Too quiet. Ryan's car was gone. Lily's too. But something felt off. Subtle. Wrong. I stepped inside, listened, still. Then I saw it. My office door, open. Just a crack. I stopped. My pulse slowed, not faster, slower, controlled. I walked toward it. Each step measured, careful. I pushed the door open. Everything looked normal. Desk, laptop, files. But I knew better now. I stepped inside, closed the door behind me. And that's when I saw it. My drawer. Slightly out of place. Barely noticeable. But not to me. Someone had been here, searching, looking for something, or checking if I found something. I stood there, still. Then I smiled, because now I knew one thing for sure. They were getting nervous, and nervous people make mistakes. I didn't touch the drawer right away. I stood there, let the room settle around me, because rushing now would be a mistake. They had already been here. That meant they were watching for reactions. So I gave them none. I walked to the desk, slow, calm. Opened the drawer like I always did. No hesitation, no surprise. Inside, everything looked the same. Pens, old receipts, a notebook. But the alignment was off. Barely, just enough. I closed it again, gently. Then I sat down, opened my laptop, typed random emails, clicked through files. Routine. Normal. Let them think I noticed nothing. That mattered. After 10 minutes, I stood up, left the room, like it didn't mean anything. But inside, everything was clicking into place. That evening, Ryan came home earlier than usual. He walked in with energy. Too much. Forced. Hey, he said. I picked up dinner, takeout bags in his hands, smiling like he was fixing something. I looked at him, measured. Thanks. We ate at the kitchen counter, not the dining table. He chose that. Casual. Less pressure. Smart move. But I saw through it. Halfway through the meal, he leaned back, watched me. You've been quiet, he said. I've been thinking. About what? I wiped my hands. Set the napkin down. Trust. That word landed. He didn't move, didn't blink. Okay, he said slowly. What about it? I met his eyes. Do you think trust is something people earn or something they pretend to have until they don't need to anymore? Silence. Heavy. Sharp. His jaw tightened. Just a little. That's a strange question, he said. Is it? I tilted my head, watched him carefully. I don't think so. He leaned forward, hands clasped. Is this about something specific? There it was. Fishing. Careful now. I shook my head. No. A beat. Just something I've been thinking about. He studied me. Longer this time. Trying to find cracks. Trying to confirm what I knew. I didn't give him anything. Not a single inch. Finally, he leaned back. Trust takes time, he said. That's true. I nodded. And it takes honesty. Another beat. His eyes flickered. Just for a second. But I caught it. Then Lily walked in. Timing. Always perfect. She looked between us, felt the tension immediately. What did I miss? She asked. Ryan smiled. Too quick. Nothing. Lie. Obvious now. I stood, picked up my plate, walked to the sink, water running, sound filling the silence. Lily stepped closer. You okay? She asked softly. I turned, looked at her. Really looked. You tell me. That stopped her. Completely. She froze, just for a second, then forced a smile. I don't know what you mean. Of course she didn't. Not out loud. I dried my hands, set the towel down. You will, I said quietly. Then I walked past her, back toward the stairs. Behind me, I could feel it. The shift, the tension tightening. They were no longer comfortable, no longer confident. And that was exactly where I needed them. Upstairs, I closed my door, locked it. Then I finally let myself exhale. Long, slow. Because now the game had changed. They knew something was off. But they didn't know what. And that uncertainty, that was my weapon. I sat on the edge of the bed, pulled out my phone, typed one message. To Thomas. They're getting nervous. His reply came fast. Good. I stared at the screen, then typed again. What's next? There was a pause this time, longer. Then his answer appeared. Now we make them move. I leaned back, closed my eyes, because I knew exactly what that meant. Pressure, timing, and one mistake. That's all it would take, and they were getting very close to making it. I didn't have to wait long. They moved faster than I expected. That's what pressure does. It makes people sloppy. The next morning, Ryan was already dressed when I came downstairs. Suit on, tie perfect, too perfect. He didn't even look at his phone, which meant he was focused, on me. Good morning, he said, too calm. I poured coffee, watched him over the steam. Morning, a pause. Then he stepped closer. We need to talk. There it was. Finally. I turned, leaned against the counter. About what? He exhaled. Slow, controlled. This tension, he said. Whatever's going on, we need to clear it. I nodded slightly. Okay. He studied me. Searching. This isn't like you, he said. I almost smiled. You're right. That threw him off. Just enough. So tell me what's wrong, he pushed. I let the silence stretch. Then I said it. I know. 2 words. That's all it took. His face didn't change right away, but his eyes did. Sharp, alert, dangerous. Know what? He asked. Careful now. Very careful. I held his gaze, didn't blink. About the money. That was enough. His shoulders stiffened. Not dramatic, but real. That's not what you think, he said quickly. Too quickly. I straightened, stepped closer. What do I think, Ryan? He hesitated. First real hesitation I'd seen. You're overwhelmed, he said. You're grieving. You're looking for something to blame. There it was. Gaslighting. Predictable. Almost disappointing. I shook my head slowly. No. A beat. I'm looking at facts. He opened his mouth, closed it, recalculating. I saw it happening. Right in front of me. That's when Lily walked in. She froze instantly. She knew. She felt it. What's going on? She asked. Ryan didn't answer. He couldn't, so I did. We're having a conversation, I said calmly. She stepped closer, careful, eyes moving between us. About what? I smiled, soft, controlled. About honesty. That word hit both of them, hard. Lily's fingers tightened around her sleeve. Ryan's jaw locked. Emily, Lily started. Eliza, I corrected again. This time sharper, more final. Silence dropped, heavy, permanent. My name is Eliza, I repeated, and I think it's time we all start using the right names for things. Ryan stepped in, protective now, or controlling. Hard to tell. You're making a mistake, he said. I looked at him, really looked, and for the first time, I didn't see power. I saw fear. No, I said quietly. You did. I reached into my bag, pulled out the folder, set it on the counter. The sound echoed. Louder than it should have. Ryan stared at it, didn't touch it. Open it, I said. He didn't move. Lily looked like she might run, or break, or both. Go ahead, I added. My voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. Ryan finally reached forward, slow, like the paper might burn him. He opened it, flipped the first page, then the second. His breathing changed, subtle, but I heard it. Lily stepped closer, looked over his shoulder, and then her face went white, completely. This isn't, Ryan started. It is, I cut in, flat, final. You've been moving money, I said, slow, careful, quiet, a beat, but not careful enough. Silence. Then Lily spoke, barely above a whisper. What do we do? Wrong question, but honest, finally honest. I looked at her, held her gaze. You tell the truth. Ryan shook his head. No, he said quickly. We don't need to do that. Still clinging to that word. I stepped back, created distance. Physical, emotional. You don't get to decide that anymore, I said. And in that moment, everything shifted. Because now, they knew. Not just that I suspected, but that I had proof. And once truth enters a room like that, nothing survives it unchanged. Ryan dropped the folder like it weighed too much, like truth had a physical form. This isn't enough, he said. But his voice didn't match his words. It cracked. Just a little. Lily stepped back, shaking now, not acting, not controlled. Real fear. Eliza, she whispered. I didn't move, didn't soften. Stop, I said quietly. She froze. I'm done listening to half-truths, I continued. Ryan ran a hand through his hair, pacing now, trying to regain control. There's a bigger picture here, he said. You don't understand. I understand enough, I cut in. Sharp, clean, you lied, a beat, you stole. Another beat. And you both thought I wouldn't notice. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. Lily broke first. I didn't want this, she said. Tears now? Fast? Messy? I needed help. I was drowning. I watched her. Didn't interrupt. Ryan said it was temporary, she added, that we'd fix it before you ever knew. Ryan turned on her. Stop talking. Too late, way too late. I stepped closer, focused on her. Help? I asked. My voice wasn't loud, but it landed. You call this help? She broke. Completely. I made a mistake, she cried. I shook my head slowly. No, I said. This wasn't one mistake, a beat. This was a choice. Repeated, over and over. Ryan stepped between us, protective again, or desperate. "You're blowing this out of proportion," he said. I laughed. "Once. Short, sharp. That's what you think this is?" I stepped around him. Not rushed, not emotional, just done. "I've already handed everything over," I said. That stopped him. "What?" I met his eyes, records, transfers, everything. His face drained. Completely. "To who?" he demanded. I didn't answer right away. Let it sit. Let it sink in. People who don't ignore things like this. That was enough. He understood. Of course he did. His whole posture changed. No more confidence, no more control. Just calculation, survival. "You didn't have to do that," he said. "Too soft now. Too careful." "I did," I replied, "because I respect myself enough to stop being manipulated." That landed deeper than anything else. Silence followed. Long. Uncomfortable. Final. I grabbed my bag, walked to the door. No hesitation. No looking back. "Eliza," Lily said behind me. Her voice cracked. I paused, just for a second. Then I spoke. "You don't get to call me that like you didn't betray it." I opened the door, stepped outside. The air felt different, lighter. Not because the pain was gone. It wasn't. But because I wasn't carrying it alone anymore. I walked to my car, sat down, hands on the wheel. Same position as before. But everything had changed. I wasn't the woman who walked into that house blind. I was the one who walked out knowing her worth, knowing her boundaries, knowing her power. And that matters more than anything they tried to take. I started the engine, pulled away, didn't look back. Because some chapters, you don't close. You walk away from them. And if you've ever been in a moment like this, where something feels wrong, trust that feeling. Don't ignore it. Don't explain it away. Because your intuition isn't there to scare you. It's there to protect you. And if this story hit you in any way, if you've ever been underestimated or betrayed by someone you trusted, stay. Share your story. Or just say you're here. Because healing doesn't start when everything is perfect. It starts when you finally choose yourself.